Well, in 1963, we was on our way to church. Jane and Ed and I, we was on our way to Sunday school because we were gonna have a youth day program that Sunday. And we were so excited, and we walked, and Jane had a purse shaped like a football, and we were just throwing it and catching it all the way to church. We walked from 2nd Street West to 16th Street North. So when we arrived, we went into the restroom, the ladies' lounge, to freshen up. So while we was in the ladies' lounge, that's when Denise McNair, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robinson had came into the door. So they spoke to us, and they went on to use the stall. Jane had went on up to her class before they came in, but Ed and I, we stayed in the lounge, and we decided to just stay in there and wait till class turned out. So that's when they came in, and they spoke and went to the restroom on the other side of the lounge. So when they came out, Denise McNair walked over to my sister Addie and turned around and asked Addie, she said, "Will you tie my sash on my dress?" So Addie reached her hands out like that. So we all was just standing there looking at her, getting ready to tie it. But when she did like that, that's when we heard a loud sound, boom! And all I could do was holler, "Jesus!" And I called Addie, "Addie, Addie, Addie," but she didn't answer. So I didn't know what had happened to them because I was blinded from the debris rushing in on me, because they were standing by the window and I was across from them by the sink. So the debris came rushing in and blinded me. But all of a sudden I heard someone holler, "Somebody bombed the 16th Street Church." It was a big crater hole in the church. And I didn't know who this person was till I found out later who said that, because I seen them after the bombing. I was at the library, and he came across the street and told me who he were, and we talked, and he told me that he was the one that came in and brought me out to church. He was one of the deacons, Deacon Samuel Rutledge, that was upstairs in his class. So he told me that when he heard the noise, he decided to come down to see what had happened. So when he began to take the step was blown away. So he jumped down, and when he looked into the side where the crater was, he seen me standing, and he came in and picked me up and brought me out. Yes, I always think about it, because I remember when they rushed me over to the hospital, they told me that I was gonna have to lay on a cot because the eye doctor wasn't in. So while I laid there, Janie came in, and I asked her, I said, "Where's Addie?" And she said that Addie had hurt her back, but she was gonna visit me tomorrow. I guess she didn't want me to get so upset about what happened, was the reason why she said that. But anyway, they rushed me on upstairs and operated on my eyes, and when I came back to my room, my mother was waiting for me, and she told me that all the girls that was in the ladies' lounge with me, they was all killed, and I was the only survivor. But I remember after I kept the bandage on my eyes for about a few days, and they took the bandage off, and they asked me, doctor asked me, what do I see out of my left eye? And I said, I see a little light. And he said, what do you see out of your right eye? I said, I can't see anything. I was blinded in my right eye from the bombing. People were seeing what was going on in Alabama through the news, how the dog attacks and the high pressure power water that was put on the marchers. And we had Bull Connor, the police commissioner, and he was telling the police to put the billy sticks on people. You know, they sing all that. And people wasn't satisfied with what they were singing. So that's why it went around the world about what happened here in Alabama. Yes, I was mad. I was mad for a good while, a long time, because killing those girls and injuring me, that was something that shouldn't have happened. And it happened simply because we was black. You know, we came to church that morning to worship God, and had to leave there without my sister, and I was injured and my friends was killed. You know, that was something that never should have happened. Yes, there's a lot of people still come to see the church and go inside and just, you know, want to view it. And we got those statues across the street, and people come across the country to see the statues, and the Civil Rights Institution also. It's been 60 years and things have changed a lot in Birmingham, Alabama. But I still think about it, you know, all the time, because when I look in the mirror and I see my eyes, you know, they had to remove my right eye, and I have a prosthetic, and it's always remind me of it, just seeing it all the time and think about it all the time. That's something that I would never forget, because I was injured for no reason at all, and also those girls were killed for no reason. They should be still alive today. I was 12 years old, and I was just really starting life. You know, my sister and friends, they were just starting out in life, because they was 3 of the girls was 14, and one of them was 11. So we didn't have any hate in us, because we was going to church learning about God, you know, and His love. For someone to do something like that, they are led by the devil. And you don't put a bomb in the church. Well, for me, I can speak for myself. You know, my injury was something that was really bad, even though, you know, I know the girls was killed, and that was awful, you know, for them to kill. But the state hadn't really given me restitution yet for my injury. And it's 60 years now, and I'm getting older, and yet they hadn't given me an apology for what happened back there then. We know who we have in office now wasn't there then at that time when it happened, but they should try to really right a wrong, you know, something that was wrong. But it haven't been that way. I hadn't gotten an apology yet. And the state has changed, and we don't see all the color signs and, you know, and white signs up on the fountain and things like that. But it could be better. The state could be better if they recognize the people that was injured during that time. I want restitution, and I want it in the million, because when I say that, because when this happened, we had Governor Wallace in office, and he promoted a lot of segregation. You know, he stood in front of the University of Alabama and said segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. So he was up with all the hate and racist stuff that was going on in Alabama. Because I really believe if he had tried better to try to show people that there was a good state and blacks was welcome, all this wouldn't have happened. But we wasn't welcome here simply because we was black. Well, I can tell them we shouldn't hate one another, you know, simply because of our race. You know, the Bible teaches us about love. Love one another and love our neighbors and just love, you know. But the devil come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So it's time for them to quit following what the devil want them to do and start trusting in God. We got to look at people, not just look at their color, because God made us all in His image, and we all have red blood. But just because we are different color, that don't mean we are lower than other races. We are just as important as all the other races, because it is He that has made us and not we ourselves. And we are His people. All of us are His people. God made us all in His image. So if people want to make it in, they have to repent and turn to God, because that's what brought me this for. I had to repent because I had a lot of hatred on the inside of me for what they did. But after I repented and came to Jesus, that's when I started talking about the bombing, because I was really angry about what they did. But now I can love them again since I came to God.